Robert Greene wrote the 48 Laws of Power in 1998. It is fundamentally a book written by a man about power as men have experienced and wielded it for an audience that was, whether intentionally or not, primarily male. And yet, women have been reading it for decades, trying to apply laws that were designed for a completely different set of social rules, a different set of risks, and a completely different relationship with power than the one women actually live. So today, we are doing what Robert Greene never did. We are going through the laws that are genuinely powerful for women, and we are talking about what power actually looks like and feels like when you are navigating it in a female body, in a world that has very specific ideas about how women should behave. Before we get into the laws themselves, I need you to understand something foundational, because if you miss this, the whole conversation falls flat. Power, historically, has been a male domain. The examples Robert Greene draws on throughout the 48 Laws, Machiavelli, Sun Tzu, Napoleon, Cardinal Richelieu, Henry Kissinger, are almost exclusively men. The courts, the wars, the political arenas where these laws were tested and refined were spaces that women were largely excluded from, which means the laws themselves carry an assumption that the person wielding them is operating from a position of social authority. That ambition is seen as attractive, not threatening. That assertiveness reads as strength, not aggression. That saying less than necessary creates mystery, not suspicion. For men, many of those assumptions hold. For women, they often don't. A man who guards his reputation ruthlessly is called strategic. A woman who does the same is called cold, difficult, or threatened. A man who uses absence to increase his value is called a challenge. A woman who does the same is called unavailable or emotionally damaged. A man who conceals his intentions is called a tactician. A woman who does the same is called manipulative. The social penalties for power-seeking behavior are not equally distributed. And a book that doesn't acknowledge that is not a complete guide for women. So we are going to fix that today. Here are the laws that are gold for women. Law 1, never outshine the mask, but understand what this actually means for you. On the surface, this law sounds like it's telling you to make yourself small. It's not. It's telling you to be strategic about when and where you show your power. For women, this law has a specific application that goes deeper than the workplace politics Greene was writing about. We have been socially conditioned to dim ourselves, not for strategic reasons, but because we were taught that being too visible, too capable, too impressive makes us threatening, makes us unlikable, costs us relationships. The difference between the conditioned woman and the powerful woman is this. The conditioned woman dims herself automatically from fear. The powerful woman chooses deliberately when to be visible and when to let others shine. Not because she's afraid of her own light, but because she understands timing and rooms. Stop shrinking from fear. Start choosing strategically. That is the female application of Law 1. Law 4, always say less than necessary. This one is pure gold for women, and I want you to really sit with it. We have been socialized to fill silence, to over-explain, to justify our decisions, our feelings, our choices to everyone who questions them. We apologize constantly. We add qualifiers to everything we say. I might be wrong, but this is just my opinion. Sorry if this sounds stupid. This is not politeness. This is a trained loss of power. The woman who says less is perceived as more confident, more certain, more formidable. When you over-explain, you're essentially handing people ammunition. You're showing them your doubts, your insecurities, your need for their approval. Say what needs to be said. Stop there. Let the silence do the rest. This one law alone will change how people treat you. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Your reputation is your most valuable currency. And for women, it is under attack in ways that men simply do not face to the same degree. How you are talked about when you are not in the room shapes every opportunity that comes, or doesn't come, to you. It shapes how men treat you, how women treat you, what you are offered, what you are denied. Guarding your reputation as a woman means being selective about what you share and with whom. It means understanding that not everyone who smiles at you is on your team. It means not giving people material to use against you in moments of their own insecurity or competition. This doesn't mean living inauthentically. It means understanding that your public self is an asset that deserves to be protected with intention. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. This is one of the most powerful laws for women in the context of relationships, romantic, social, and professional. We have been taught that love means availability, that a good woman shows up, stays present, makes herself accessible, that pulling back is cruel, is distant, is a red flag. But what actually happens psychologically when you are always available? You become expected, you become ordinary. The thing that is always there stops being noticed. And the moment it's gone, it becomes all anyone can think about. Absence creates space for desire to build. It communicates that your time and attention are not infinite resources that anyone can access at will. It signals self sufficiency in the most attractive way possible. This isn't about playing games. This is about having a full enough life that your presence is genuinely not guaranteed. And people can feel that. Law 25, recreate yourself. This one was written for us, even if Robert Greene didn't know it. Women are constantly told who to be by our families, our culture, our relationships, our social media feeds, our bodies, our age, our relationship status. We are handed an identity and expected to wear it without questioning whether it actually fits. The most powerful thing a woman can do is decide, deliberately and consciously, who she is becoming, and then build that identity through her choices, her presentation, her associations, and her refusal to be held in place by who she used to be. Recreation is not inauthenticity, it is evolution, and it is one of the greatest acts of power available to you. Law 44, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. This law is about reflecting people back to themselves, matching their energy, their behavior, their tactics. So they are forced to confront what they are projecting. For women, this has a specific application in dealing with the people who try to diminish you, the colleague who takes credit for your work, the partner who gaslights, the friend who subtly competes. When you respond with calm, unshakable clarity, when you simply reflect back what is happening without drama, without aggression, it is profoundly disarming. Hysteria is expected of women. Calm, clear, unshakable observation is not. And it is far more powerful than any emotional reaction you could give them. There are laws that women need that this book never addresses, because it was never written with us in mind. So here they are. The Law of Selective Vulnerability. Strength that never shows any softness is not power, it's armor. And armored women attract armored men in armored relationships. The truly powerful woman knows when and with whom to be vulnerable. Vulnerability, chosen deliberately and offered selectively, is one of the most sophisticated power moves available to you. It creates intimacy, trust, and a depth of connection that pure strategy never can. The law of emotional intelligence as currency. The original 48 laws treats emotion primarily as something to suppress or weaponize. For women navigating social and relational spaces, emotional intelligence is not a liability. It is the intelligence, the ability to read rooms, understand motivations, navigate unspoken dynamics, and move people through genuine connection is a form of power that the book almost entirely misses. The law of community. The 48 laws is fundamentally individualistic. Every man for himself. Trust no one. Use everyone. That framework is not only psychologically corrosive for women, it is strategically wrong for us. Women's power has historically been collective. The women who have changed the world, built empires, survived systems designed to crush them, did it through networks of trust, reciprocity, and genuine alliance. Your community is your power. Guard it, cultivate it, invest in it. The law of your own standard. Perhaps the most important law of all, and the one the book never wrote. You define what power means in your life. Not Robert Greene, not society, not the men in your life or the women who compare themselves to you. The woman who knows what she is building, why she is building it, and refuses to measure herself by anyone else's ruler. She is the most powerful woman in any room. Here are the questions I want you to sit with this week. Where in your life are you applying power tactics from a place of fear rather than strategy? Are you saying less because you're calm and confident, or because you're afraid of taking up space? Which of the laws we talked about today do you already use intuitively? And which ones have you been avoiding because you were taught that powerful women are dangerous or unlikable? What would it look like to build power in a way that is completely aligned with who you actually are, not who a 1998 book written by a man said you should be? And finally, what is the version of power that you are building, not borrowed, not imitated? Yours. Because that is the only law that actually matters. I'll see you in the next one.